So I love Halloween, and I've always loved Halloween, and I've always wanted to decorate for Halloween, but I never have. Recently, however, our neighborhoods come together and formed a group called Rally for the Alley, where they've turned what is basically a driveway for the whole neighborhood into a big community garden, and I thought this would be a great place to build some sort of Halloween decoration. I knew I wanted whatever I built to be have a lot of ambient lighting, and I wanted candles, but I didn't want to use real candles. So I used PVC pipe and hot glue to make these sort of holders so that I can make battery-powered votive candles look like they are drippy wax. Once all the hot glue had cooled down, I just painted the candles with some spray paint, and then I weathered them. And it's a really basic, quick weathering technique of just painting them all over with a burnt umber color that I had thinned down. And then once I had covered all of the wax, tried my best to clean it, all that burnt umber paint off again, leaving it in all the recesses, kind of, I don't know, giving the illusion of more depth. The result wasn't incredibly accurate. It was more of a cartoony looking candle or drippy wax, but that's kind of the look I was going for anyway, so I went with it. For the jack-o'-lanterns, I just started with some basic kind of craft store foam pumpkins that I painted different shades of blue, and then I took a rotary tool and I cut away the bulk of the face carving to kind of keep my hands from locking up, because the foam can be pretty hard to cut with just a knife, and I don't have a hot knife foam cutter. After I'd gotten the bulk cut away, I used an X-Acto knife to kind of do the cleanup, and I also thinned the walls because the foam could be pretty thick, and I thought it kind of ruined the illusion a bit. Once they were carved, all the pumpkins got the same initial treatment as the candles, just painted them brown with that burnt umber color, and then did the best I could to wipe the extra paint off. And it helped, again, kind of add more depth, but it also sort of outlined the facial features, which was an effect I really liked. Once the brown wash had dried, I just dry brushed everything to sort of tie all the pumpkins together. I wanted a third element to sort of balance out the pumpkins and the candles, and also add a little bit of a creepy factor. And so I found these different skull images in a free vector pack, and then used the laser to engrave them onto pieces of plywood. Normally, this is something that I would have drawn by hand rather than find something to download or whatever. But I was really short on time, and these ended up working really, really well. And then just really quickly to make these panels look older than they actually are, I just burned them with a torch. It's quick, it's easy, it's effective, and once you've painted it, it looks less like burn and more like old plywood that's been left in the forest or something like that. The panels were all base coated in blues and greens, and I used not great spray paint etiquette. I put it on pretty thick just to sort of obscure the image a bit more and add a little more age to it later on. And then once that paint had dried, they got the same weathering treatment as the pumpkins, both with the burnt umber wash and then the same blue colors used for the pumpkins as a dry brush on the panels, and that really kind of brought everything together into the same look. Okay, so we arrive with a fresh haircut, and it's time to set up. And I decided I was going to set up in one of these sort of raised bed planters that the Rally for the Alley guys have built. And I chose the space, one, because it's just a nice little viewing space. Also, there was still some greenery left over from the summer, which I thought would be a nice element with all the candles and pumpkins and everything. And then also, another youth organization had built these sort of artistic interpretations of birds' nests, and they were still hanging on the fence. And I thought they were kind of creepy, interesting looking things I thought would just sort of add to this whole project. When I was arranging all of these, I was just trying to keep in mind that I wanted it to look like it had been around for a while and that multiple people had built it. It wasn't all by one person. And so I wanted the whole thing to be sort of this organically grown, organically shaped, presentation. And then right as I was putting the finishing touches on everything, the neighborhood cat, Buster, showed up. And I thought he was just sort of the perfect element to finish everything off and tie everything together. So with everything arranged and laid out, all that was left to do was put the battery-powered votive candles into their holders and inside the jack-o'-lanterns, and wait for it to get dark. This was a really fun project. I didn't think that blue could be an effective Halloween color, but I do think it turned out pretty fun and kind of a little spooky, a little silly. Hopefully a little eye-catching, a little interesting. Definitely inspiring to keep doing more Halloween decorations, other holiday decorations throughout the year. And I really like what Rally for the Alley is doing, bringing the community together and making a sort of community space for everyone. I think is really cool. Anyway, so this was my Halloween project, and thank you for watching.